January has long been known as divorce month, but why do we see an increase in filings this time of year? Attorney Jonathan Marks with the Marks Law Firm with us this morning with some of those reasons behind why this month causes so many to separate or even end their marriages. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Margie.
Yeah, of course, this follows December. The holidays can be really stressful for a lot of people. Does that play into this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you already had a fractured marriage and you're going into a stressful time, you're putting yourself in a situation, not just from an economic standpoint, that the holidays bring a lot of stress, but you're going to have to be around your in-laws and other family. And if you're already uncomfortable with your spouse and you're being put into that situation, and maybe part of the marital stress was due to those family relationships, being in that closed environment for an extended period of time can only make that fracture worse.
Do you think there's a point with the holidays of going, well, I don't want to do it that month. They don't want to do it in December.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think that kind of really starts, right after Thanksgiving. People sort of think about what are they doing for purposes of, are they ruining a holiday situation? And a lot of people start making those steps that then in their mind they know what they're going to do come January, and so they're preparing for it. But ultimately they don't want to do anything until they get through past that Christmas holiday and the New Year's. And it's kind of like a refresh. I'm starting the year anew, and here's what I've decided to do to empower myself and start the year off with something new for myself.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably a big part of it too, right? It is that kind of that restart, that refresh on January 1. Yeah. That becomes a part of it, why people are filing?
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of people are just waiting. It's like anything else. You're coming to the end of the year, you want to start off fresh, and when you get to that new year, you're looking at new goals, you're looking at new ways to make yourself feel better in the coming year. And if this is one of your biggest stressors and you've already been looking forward to what can happen in the next year, it's going to be something that's going to be top of mind awareness, and you're going to start that off in January.
Okay, what about financial factors that play into this?
Yeah, I mean, it's twofold, really.
Right.
I mean, one of them is typically, November, December is a lot of debt that you're accumulating for purposes of the holidays due to the expense of gifts or travel to go visit family. And so you don't want to add to that additional expense by adding into attorney's fees or mediator fees when you're going into a divorce. Yeah. But what does happen in January is you're looking at it as the beginning of a new year, it's a reset, and you're looking at the tax refund that may be forthcoming in a month or two. And so you're viewing that as a time that you really have the finances available and the mindset to start going forward.
Yeah, January can also be that month, especially when we had that winter storm here, like a lot of people were inside. Yeah. That seasonal affective disorder, that's real, right?
Well, that is real. I mean, just look at your drive over here and the piles of ice and snow that are still hanging out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of depressing factors, and when you're already unhappy, if you're stuck and you're literally looking out and there's not a whole lot of sun and you're just kind of stuck in the same house, and you're stuck in the same house where you're unhappy, it's absolutely going to have that increased effect. And that seasonal effect is a real disorder, absolutely.
Yeah. Even with all these factors, I mean, this is a huge decision, Jonathan. I mean, I guess, contact an attorney, see what your options are before you decide just to file.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is it makes it seem as if January and February are these great months for purposes of when it happens. And statistically, it does happen in that regard. But this is usually a decision that you've had weeks and months in advance. It just so happens that January is the time that you decide that you're going to move forward and file.
Gotcha. All right. If people want some information, they'll contact your office?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Jonathan Marks with the Marks Law Firm. Thank you so much. We'll have this as well on our website, fox2now.com.